Evening, y'all. Tonight, we're going to be cleaning some brushes and trying out this brush soap, Gentastic's Drunken Brush Coop. I love that name. Let's get going. Now, this brush soap is made by Monument Hobbies and is described as a cleaner, restorer, conditioner, and reshaper all in one. So I'm looking forward to using it on my brushes. The first brush we're going to try this on is my Marta Kolinsky size 2 brush. This one's been a real workhorse for me. I've gotten a lot of mileage out of it. I like to try and keep it as clean as possible, but over time it's taken a lot of wear and tear and it's definitely lost its point. But let's see if we can get that back. So we're just going to start by putting the brush in some water, getting it wet. I'm going to swish it around into that brush soap a bit. Some more water. And just lather that water in there gently, swishing the brush, making sure not to push on the brush or bend the bristles at too rough an angle. After repeating this process, we'll have enough lather built up that we can scoop it onto the bristles of the brush. As you can see, we've also got it on the ferrule of the brush. And I'm just going to start wiping it onto my hand. There we go. After repeating that process a few times, you can see we've got more of a point on that brush. Next up, we're going to be cleaning my Tamiya modeling brushes. These are my fine detail brushes, and I've put them through a lot of use over time. The bristles are dry right now, so they're all splayed out. Over time, paint has definitely built up in the ferrule, and it's not good for the brush, so I'm going to try and clean that out. Once again, getting the brush wet, working it into the soap, creating a lather, getting it all worked into the bristles. I'm going to get some lather on the bristles, and I'm actually going to just leave the brush for a while and let the soap sit while I work on this other brush. My tiny, tiny detail brush. Being very gentle. I'm going to let this brush sit with the soap on it as well. I'm also going to very gently work at the bristles with my thumbnail. You don't want to press too hard doing this. You don't want to pull at the bristles hard either. But this can help get some of the paint that's stuck on the bristles off. I've got some nice tips on these brushes again. They've got a bit of a hook on the end, but I find the Tamiya brushes often come like that, and I just kind of make it work. Next, we're going to be cleaning this Winsor & Newton Professional Watercolor No. 6. Got the brush thoroughly wet. And we'll start working this soap into the bristles. I'm going to turn it as I go, so I can really ensure the spread of the soap. I'm also pressing gently so the bristles splay out and the soap can get deeper into the brush. It's got some nice flex back to the bristles. Next up, we're going to clean these Citadel and Army Painter brushes that I have put through a lot of use. Now at this point, these are just my junk brushes that I use for applying mud texture and snow texture and mixing paints on the palette. These aren't going to turn back into nice brushes, they're too far gone, but we can definitely get a lot of the paint out. I'm doing the Army Painter first. First thing I'm noticing is that the brush is so stiff that it's going to take some gradual working. I'm just going to repeat this process several times of working the soap into the bristles and cleaning it off in the water pot, gently tapping on the side, not too hard. And back to the soap. I'm going to let this soap sit on the brush while I work on the other one. You can see as I work this brush in that the blue pigment is coming out into the soap. With this brush I can be a little more rough because I'm not having to worry about maintaining a fine point on it. And I'm going to let this brush sit while I go back to the first one. And with this brush, I'm going to definitely work some of that paint out with my thumbnail. Compared to where they were at before, they're in much better condition. You can actually see the coloration of each brush, whereas before they were just a hodgepodge of different colors that were sunk into the bristles. Nice brushes. And there we go. Using Gentastic's Drunken Brush Goop, I was able to give these brushes a really good cleaning. Very happy with the results.